Welcome back, intrepid adventurers, to Night 54 of the Crimson Moon Chronicles. I wanted to thank you all so much for tuning in this evening and joining us for another fantastic session that we will be having. A lot happened last week, my friends. A lot happened. But before we begin, I wanted to again thank my awesome players for doing such a fantastic job with their characters and really bringing the story to life. Tonight, you will see that we are missing a couple of our normal characters. Tralia has had to step away for a little while. She will be returning. And also Morgal had to step away for this week's episode. But he shall return, hopefully, next week. So we wish that they were here. But we are going to still have a lot of fun tonight and see exactly where it is that our characters take the story next. A lot happened last week. They were able to take down the Ice Queen. Another member of the Court of Cinders has now bitten the proverbial dust. We also were treated to a lovely cliffhanger, seeing Civic that went back into the Feywild, supposedly betraying his friends, his loved ones, his patron god, and killing his patron god and stealing these boxes. Why? Is this what happened? We shall see together. But before we jump in, I wanted to thank the great people over at Fat Zebra Designs for sending us these awesome playmats that we play on. Grab yours today and make your dungeons come to life with your own flair. Dry erase, marker friendly. Build these maps as you wish with fantastic scenery that has been put onto these battle mats. They have two sides to each of them, and you can grab yours today at Fat Zebra Designs. Now, the scene is set. The air was tense when last we saw our heroes. They'd just gotten word that their friend, Morgal's lover, had betrayed them. Is that what happened? Let's see tonight on the next adventure of the Crimson Moon Chronicles.
Hello, everyone.
Hello.
I don't believe it for a,
Welcome back.
I don't believe it for a second.
Welcome
I don't
back,
know.
everybody. Welcome
Oh boy.
back.
I don't know.
As you all see the magic start to dissipate, boy howdy, that is delicious.
As you see the magic dissipate, just a supreme satisfaction washes over your taste buds.
Capri
Man.
Sun. As you all watch the magic dissipate with the visage of Civic there, Morgal is very distraught, and he hides himself away in his captain's quarters. In that moment, what do you all do?
Who's flagged the ship?
That's gonna be kind of a group effort, I think.
Yeah, I was just making sure if
At the risk of sounding like an absolute asshole, should we try and see if there's anything that we can take from here to, say, beef up our food stocks or repair the ship, etc.?
We got an over-table question here. Hadn't we already started traveling again at the end of last session, or were we still
You-
at...
No. Yes. No.
No.
We had
We
just gotten
just-
back to the
back
ship.
in the
We
air.
hadn't gone
Yeah,
anywhere.
you all were in the ship, and the ship had started to. Yeah, you all were in the ship.
So we're airborne, but we're not in
Moving.
transit.
Correct.
So,
All right,
I've
then Kai is going to follow Morgul and say, "I don't mean to be insensitive, but knock, knock, knock. We don't know how to fly this thing. Hello?
Moxie.
No answer.
Well, this is a problem.
I hate to say it, but you got a point. I mean,
so
no one else is gonna be down here, though.
I mean, everything within a 10-mile radius has just been annihilated by an angry ex-dragon.
You know, we saw him
Large
figure it
ice
out. I'm
so-
sure
Not to
we could-
mention Miknik.
Didn't
Occurs to me. They said your deity resides nearby.
Oh, yes, we
As
are
a
in
fellow
the,
religious person who, if she could meet her deity to ask questions, don't
would you be
feel a
interested?
little curious?
I'm absolutely curious. I would love to find her. I don't know if she's actually here, but I would
that's
love
all
to
well and
look.
good, but shouldn't we maybe talk about this civic thing?
But
Yeah, the
Civic is also
civic
in
thing-
the Feywild, and
Well, yes, but
There's
our
lots of
captain
things,
has
yeah.
locked himself away because
So-
of this. We should.
Yeah, we need something to help with that.
So to
I-
kind of steer the conversation, I agree with Moxie that we should investigate this immediate area to find if there's anything we should just go ahead and acquire. While doing so, let's talk about what happened with Civic, because
Okay.
fucking shit.
And two, let's
And
give
then
Morgul some
after
space.
that-
let's give Morgul a bit of space.
Yes, give Morgul space.
He'll be
during
fine
all of that.
guarding. He'll be fine guarding the ship by himself. As much as I detest the cold.
And after that, let's, explore.
Somebody make
see
her
if
that
we can
owlbear
find
cloak
the
already.
Cold one.
I was gonna say, 'cause-
do any of you know leatherworking?
No, not in the slightest.
What would that
I
be
can
over table? What
improvise
would
it.
that be under?
Tailoring,
Survival.
I got a woodworker's kit, which is why I can do all that stuff. But
If it's considered sleight of hand, I can manage. Survival.
It is
Maybe.
not.
I would think it's a subcategory of performance or just a dexterity roll.
It should be. I believe it should be a skill that you can pick, or something like that.
yeah, I got woodcarver's tools. Well, you know what? I can give it a shot. I'm gonna roll to try
Leon,
to
do
make
you
Moxie a
have-
coat
do you
out of
have those
owlbear fur.
answers?
What answers?
Pretty
17.
damn good.
Leatherworking. What would that be under?
Leatherworking, that'd be artisan tools, which is just
yeah,
a catch-all.
That's not a thing that Noxie has.
Well, I have artisan tools and the woodcarver set, so I'm trying to apply my skill, and I got a 17 on it.
You are starting to fashion a owlbear cloak.
That's going to be
Fantastic.
interesting.
Moxie, try this on.
Okay.
Well, I need.
No, I know.
What, do you want me to
it's-
fashion it around a barrel?
No.
I doubt it will fit you.
That's not the. No, she's trying it on. She's just kind of fumbling with it because she's awkward.
Hold still. I'm not very good at this either. I'm figuring it out as I go.
If you stick me with a pin, you're going to get hellish rebuke.
If I stick you with a pin, how careless do you think I am? You notice that he has a pin in his leg that he hasn't noticed yet? You know, since I have no feeling in them anymore.
Yes.
So,
Never mind. You two carry on. What was that, Leon?
What?
so about that civic thing, I'm not too sure that was our civic. Two things. One, we just brought back to Tanya. It's very unlikely Oberyn would have let her be killed. And two, it seems very, very suspicious that it happened right after the Ice Queen over there just bit the dust.
Yeah, something tells me this. Either that sleeper agent is no longer sleeping. But then again, how does a simple sleeper agent that refuses to integrate do that?
On that note, Kai says with pins in his mouth, the witches couldn't take out Titania. How the hell would Civic?
Even
We
with
even
what he
saw
had.
we
Like,
saw how
the-
much Oberyn took damage, and
Watch the tail.
he
Watch the
fought
tail.
the tree raiser.
Keep it still.
Mm.
Sorry, go on.
So, with that in mind, the only reason that Titania was even remotely concerned about Madame Red N was just she was weakened. With the entire triad together over there in the Feywild, I really sincerely doubt that that was the real thing. Someone could very easily disguise themselves as him. That's not hard.
In fact, it
It's-
wouldn't be the first time we've been fooled.
It
Not to
wouldn't.
mention, just with that last illusion, there's no telling.
The Ice Dragon herself said we were lured here by Sharlock when he mentioned Lorna. We should have seen that. Now
Mhm.
anything that's driving us elsewhere is either, in my mind, a delay tactic or trying to get something out of us.
Mhm.
Mm,
Which means we should just forge our own path, keep this information in
Calamax,
mind.
do you
What?
want me to stab your tail? I understand you're agitated, but hold still.
As you all are talking amongst yourselves,
Moxie, drink.
in the middle of the ship, you see what looks like a bulb start coming up as it opens. You hear
That's new.
the booming voice of Lord Oberyn.
You're everything.
When you all have a moment to speak, I would like to talk to you about something that has recently happened within my castle.
Okay.
Okay, we can talk
now
right
is-
now.
yeah.
Now is a good time.
If you don't mind me working, yeah, now's good.
As he says that, in your minds, you think back to what you just saw, and you thought that that was what Lord Oberyn had already just said.
Mm-hmm.
Why is
Yeah.
he saying it again?
Again.
Okay.
Before it was an announcement, now it's an official. This is. See,
Time.
I knew something was wrong.
Either
For
that
now,
or this
let's
is
assume
just a
time
magic
and see what
mouth.
it says now.
Anyway,
You were saying?
would it have to do with the boxes that went missing?
Yes.
Is the Lady Titania all right?
She's perfectly fine. Why do you ask?
I knew it!
Called it.
Because some moron decided to make a fake announcement saying Titania was dead.
We
And
seem
that
to
the
have
boxes
been
were stolen.
misled somehow.
While also making a very convincing appearance of you.
No, not of him, of Civic.
Oh.
Civic, either way.
Civic is currently detained at the.
Good.
Okay.
That's
That's
verified.
fine.
Like in the last couple of minutes, verified.
Well, I'm to assume by that you mean time works differently here, my boy.
Oh, we understand.
Yeah.
Well, then we should speak plainly. A few moments ago, by our perspective, you notified us that the boxes were stolen, Lady Titania was dead, and that Civic was responsible. Or at least that's what it
Incorrect.
seemed like.
This news is false.
That's a relief.
Hang on a moment.
Yeah.
The boxes have been stolen.
I'm sorry, just one moment. Moxie, hold these. Hold these.
Holding.
Don't let it fall, okay? It's important. Morgul! Morgul! Lord Oberyn is here. He's peeks in. I think he cried himself to sleep.
We'll fill him in later. This is important. We'll do this now.
Okay, yes. Don't let me forget to tell him.
Of course
Anyway.
not.
We'll make sure he's
I'm sorry, you were
informed.
saying? Moxie, give me that.
Yes.
And watch the tail.
I'm gonna smack you with it in a second.
The
Moxie, use
boxes
tailwhip.
that you all found,
Mm-hmm.
they were stolen by Civic. However, he will not tell us why or where they currently are.
Hmm.
That's wonderful.
Well, perhaps it's just as well we couldn't get Morgul up.
Mm-hmm. So,
Okay.
there.
So, the boxes were stolen
certain-
by Civic. Civic came to us from Sharlock. We
with
thought that
a
he was...
sleeper agent lodged in his mind that belongs to a certain crawling chaos.
Yes.
So, what would all the boxes do by chance?
Yes. Do we still not know what they do?
We currently do not know exactly what the boxes do.
All we
They
know is
are
they came from
quite
that tower.
ancient in origin.
All right.
You speak of a tower.
The Black Spire.
Yes,
It's in
we've
Shadowfell,
traced
I
their
believe.
lineage back to that. We believe these
And
boxes to be linked to a particular tale.
Of
oh, this sounds familiar.
someone we're very familiar with and dislike greatly.
He said a tale, and I'm fairly sure it's a tale that we just recently heard.
Hmm.
You know, about the 6 who tore the world asunder?
That's fair.
That tale?
Yep.
Yes,
As I recall, that's the one that Aeon once tried to find in your library.
correct.
Written by someone whose name backwards is Hex.
Z.
Yes.
Hmm.
Interesting. Not quite sure what to make of it at the moment.
So what would you
Prick myself, sorry.
where would you direct us then?
At this current moment, when you all have the time, speaking with Civic, maybe you can get more information out of him than we. Even Lady Titania is having trouble.
I think we'll need to find a cure for what's currently sleeping inside of him, or we can do much about that.
Wait. The 6 who tore the world asunder, beings wrought out of chaos, once were flesh. The Apples of Discord, they used chaos magic.
Yes.
What if
they
these
did.
cubes are something similar? What if... No, I'm grasping at straws. I have to.
No, that
I'll follow through. Worst case scenario,
Watch where you
go.
put those.
Stumble upon something.
Sorry. Focus,
A
right.
seamstress you are not.
Correct. But I think that will do it. Okay, go ahead. Give me a spin. Let's see.
Spin. I like it.
If it holds together. I tried
If
to
it
give
holds
you a
together,
hood.
it'll be fine. If it holds together, fine. If it doesn't hold together, we'll fix it. It's fine. So, do we go speak to Civic, or are there more pressing things?
Many pressing things.
There are many,
I
but
don't think
are
we
there
have
any...
much time to waste with Fey travel at the moment.
That's
Well,
true
that's
too.
Civic
True.
said
years.
the one that he would wish to speak with is Morgul.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say.
Mm-hmm.
We should
He said
wait
that he
for-
would only speak with him.
We
That
should
makes
wait
sense.
for Morgul to be okay.
Do we want to try to portal him through and then back when business is done?
Trying to figure out what these boxes are exact.
Wait a moment.
What?
Alder went to see Lord Oberyn asking for the legend of the six that tore the world asunder,
Yes.
to the best of our understanding, before he found the boxes. So what if that tale is what led to them being created?
Perhaps.
What is the
Considering
Black
how-
Spire? Where is the Black Spire? That's what
The-
we need to find out.
The Black Spire, I believe, is in Shadowfell.
Yes, that is correct.
We've been told that before.
The Black Spire resides within Shadowfell.
And Aeon went there shortly before or shortly after he split himself.
What I'm wondering is, the six who tore the world asunder, what if it's not people? What if it's these boxes?
There are only 3 currently. Are you thinking there
3
are
that
more?
we know of. 3 that have
Interesting.
been found.
If we find more, great. If we don't find more, it's something else.
Yes, I'm speculating. I'm sorry.
All
It's an
speculations are
option.
welcome.
It's an option.
These boxes, gathering information and seeing exactly what they are, is of paramount importance.
There are 2 places.
Especially if what you
here.
told me is correct. Lady Titania was able to find out that, according to what you have said as well, that something is controlling Civic's actions.
Question is why?
It is the
She
crawling chaos who is
delved-
extremely bored.
She delved into his mind with the Lily of Light. As she did so, she was able to find that his soul, his consciousness, is not within his body.
That makes sense.
It is elsewhere.
We have an idea as to where it is, it's just not easy to get to.
You hear Lady Titania's voice. When you were with Civic recently,
Mm-hmm.
did he seem coherent?
At times.
Ish.
At times
Trapped in
he seemed
memories.
coherent, correct?
At times, and trapped in memories.
He
Others.
This
Did
may
he ever
sound...
acknowledge you all
This may
currently?
sound odd.
did.
He seemed more coherent when he was speaking with otherworldly tongues than he did in front of us. He interacted with us, but didn't seem to recognize us as anything more significant than Morgul's crew.
Interesting.
He seemed trapped in the past.
Yes.
It would appear as if his consciousness is still linked to his body. But from what I was able to figure out with my magics, is that he is not in control of his actions. There is an outside influence that appears to be manipulating him.
We also have an ally who has given us an insight to what's going on with him.
Yes. She's been very helpful in this process. As you hear Trollia's voice come,
That's actually not who I was talking about.
That was not who we were talking about.
Hi,
my lady.
Trollia. Nice to see you.
Hello.
hello!
Hope you're doing well.
You all hear Barnabas. We're trying to help.
You're doing fine. I promise. You're doing great.
No, we actually have an old friend of Moxie's. How should I
Yes.
say this? Was able to
Identify.
identify what's taken residence in him, and we're told that it's actively trying not to incorporate itself, which is normally what these beings do. As we've seen with the various members of the court that we've defeated, they
They
seem to
all
fuse
seem
with
to
them.
merge in
Yes,
some fashion.
I believe the term you're looking for is a showgoer.
Interesting. I will do more research into this. See what I can deduce.
You'll want to use the term Shoggoth.
A Shoggoth.
Mm-hmm. That is what they are called.
I will continue to try and get through to Civic. But it is of paramount importance, when you all have time, that Morgal speak to Civic, for Civic asked for him directly.
We will try our best to rouse him. Oh, one more thing regarding the Shoggoth. If you encounter them, and they are willing to speak with you, they are not all as twisted as you might think.
They're still crazy and like to eat people, but they're not completely insane.
Each
We-
individual is
An
it is
individual.
down. I was going to say it is down to the individual of these Shoggoths as to whether or not they are trustworthy.
To
and we
put
have
it bluntly,
found at
we
least
have
one.
encountered one who is
They
proven
are the friend
trustworthy.
we were talking about. That helped us identify.
My lord, we would not keep anything secret from you, and trying to gently dance around the subject to ease you into the idea that we have someone on board this ship who was an agent of Sherlock who decided not
change
to work
sides.
for him because he says he has found a love for the things of our world. Mibari, if you would.
Mabari peeks his head down as you all see tendrils that are wrapping around
Still
to something.
piloting.
What is it that you all want?
Introduce yourself to our lord and patron.
I can go drive for a bit, so you can come down here.
Ah, that sound.
As he walks up to you all.
Lord Oberyn, this is Calamax's childhood friend Mibari.
And Riot.
I'll let her explain the rest.
So, Mabari is fused to a Shoggoth named Riot. And Riot has been very helpful with information about things that we've been missing. And information that we couldn't otherwise get. It's how we found out that the Crawling Chaos has more pawns on the board than we thought she did.
Interesting.
This is Lord Oberyn.
And this creature is trustworthy.
We've trusted him with our lives where it mattered, and he came through.
So far, he has had many opportunities to betray us and has not. So, insofar as actions can, he has proven himself to us. Riot, if you would like to show your face. It is startling, but you get used to him.
Mm-hmm. Indeed you do.
And who are the
This is Lord
thing?
This is Lord Oberyn and his wife Lady Titania.
Riot, don't play dumb. We know you can hear.
Where are they?
Feywild.
They are elsewhere.
I cannot smell if they are tasty.
You are not allowed to eat.
You would not survive the attempt.
No,
Also,
you would not.
They are officially off the menu.
Yes, they are. We serve them.
Fine. Your Majesties.
That is the best mannerisms I believe we will get from him at this time. That was wonderful.
You see that his hand gestures were not his own. You-
Riot, behave.
As Riot peels back, as you see Mabari's face. My apologies. Are we
Thank
done
you.
here?
Thank you, Mabari. You may go.
As he goes back up onto the deck.
I'm gonna have to have a word with that lizard one of these days.
Lord Oberyn, let me speak plain. We are not fools. We're aware that war has begun, and that a game of wits has been started. Riot could indeed be a double agent, and we are keeping tabs on him and watching his every move. But until such time as he gives us reason to doubt his motives, we are treating him as though he is trustful.
Tralia was able to tell me something that I found quite interesting when doing her work with Lady Titania. While they were trying to speak to Civic through some meditative processes and some magical techniques using Lily of Light, we were able to not find influence of Sharlock. His magic is not tethered to him.
Ah, that reminds me.
And it
One
be
other thing we learned from Mabari. Well, from Riot, actually. They are under the influence of the Crawling One. All of
crawling
the
chaos.
Shoggoth that have appeared, they are
Are
here
here
at the will
because
of the
of
one we called Red.
You hear
Mm.
Tralia's voice. That's the odd thing about this, is that it doesn't seem as if the Shoggoth that is inside of him has void energy.
How is that possible?
Wait a minute. It is possible.
Moxie.
Yeah, there we go. Well, if it's not void and it's not Sharlock, but it's still Eldritch, that's the Sepulchre. Polar opposite of the void.
No,
No?
it's not. It's
Is it,
something different. There's a separate influence, I feel. I'm not too sure yet. We still need time.
is it that island
Maybe
again?
Morgall might be able to get answers out of Civic that we cannot. But as I've seen when Lady Red was
Is it safe to say the real name?
utilizing,
Ah,
I think it best that we don't right now until we understand it.
Eldritch
can
beings.
agree with
It
that.
it might be best not to poke.
that's why I've been calling her various different things.
Yeah, it's best to err on the side of caution. Of course.
Mhm.
But when we found that from Little Red, and the way that the Shoggoths were able to interact, I'm not seeing the same happen from Civic. He's different.
We were
This
told.
may be a Shoggoth, but I don't necessarily think that this one is connected to the rest.
That
Probably
would
like
explain
Riot.
what Riot said.
Mm-hmm.
It said it was one of his kind, but
Not. Then perhaps it's not integrating because it doesn't feel safe.
Well, one way or
Maybe it's
another,
no
whatever it
longer.
is, it's controlling Civic against his will.
Or is this sugar kind of like a marionette?
No, not another one.
Inside a marionette puppet, there are the mechanical mechanisms that allow it to move. But the one that pulls the strings,
Is
who
elsewhere.
is it?
Interesting.
We were told that one was linked to Red, but
No, he
if
said all
there's
his people
no-
came from
It's
Red.
That's true.
Its species, maybe, yes.
But it's been altered.
By who and for
Possibly.
what purpose? Maybe broaden the spectrum of what you're looking for. You've ruled out two main players so far.
Many things have recently been pointing at the cold one. That might be something worth looking into.
But several different things are called the Cold One, aren't they? There's not just one.
Well,
If my memory does serve me correctly, there is more than one deific presence called that. It is not a mutually exclusive title to one
Lord
person.
Oberyn's voice comes back over. The Lady Titania and Tralia continue to try and help your friend. Morgul might be the key to getting to him. I'm
very well.
also intrigued to figure out why exactly you got a message like you did. Because as you can hear, Lady Titania most
Still
definitely
alive.
is not dead.
Someone was trying to fool us, but the question is who and why?
Were they trying to
Correct.
get us to go to the Feywild or to stay away from it? That's also a big question. Though saying someone like a patron is dead is an easy way to make someone go somewhere.
It's
Or frighten
also
them
an
into
easy
inaction.
way to make someone stay away.
Take, for instance,
Either
Morgul.
way.
We know how close he is to Civic. If someone that I cared for betrayed me like that, I certainly would be in no hurry to see them again. Like my mother.
So, I can work on the cure, we can go and see Morgul, or we can explore around here and the
I
like.
would worry first, Morgul, you at least know where he is. We
He
can
needs some time to
deal
settle
with
down
this
before we break
at
this
a
to him.
later time.
Yes.
As for what you all should be doing right now, you said that you were near a deity, one on your side of the
Yes.
veil.
The ice
Yes.
dragon we just faced said that the Cold One runs this, or is responsible. What were the words?
It is
Her
dominion.
influence.
It is her
Her
domain.
influence guards this area, and she wanted us to lead them to the Cold One. Which
Interesting.
makes me think perhaps we shouldn't go looking for it. Maybe we should continue to Kekamar, which she said she froze, which might be trying to bait us there.
I think we should ignore
Well, she's
this
dead
backward
now.
thought and just do what we wish.
At the
Yes,
very
I'm
least,
seeing
I
traps
would
everywhere.
like to look through this area. Spend a little more time here.
I think
might
that
as-
might
I
be
believe
wise.
that if you have this deity that you said Miknik, are you linked to this deity in some way?
Yes, the Cold One is my deity.
It came at his behest when we were faced with Sharlock.
Protected all of us.
This might be a good place to look, to go searching for one that you call one, to see if you can get any more answers to be revealed.
Yes.
We need more information on these boxes. I thought nothing much of them at the time, except I knew that they were touched by a very dark magics. But now, seeing what we have, and learning what we have about them. I believe that they might play more of an important role in the goings-on of this war than we first thought.
Indeed. By the way, I should mention this before I forget. The last resort that we know of to deal with the Shoggoths, sound. High
Lots of
intensity sounds.
abrupt, loud, and shrill.
It disorients
Okay.
them. If you need that for any purpose, I feel you should know. It's a weakness. Not much of one, but enough to give a moment.
Very well. We shall look into this further.
A question, Lord Oberon. Just a
Yes.
curiosity. A while ago, after the events at the Castle of Heart Desire, you declared us lords of the Summer Court. And lady, obviously.
Correct.
Moxie.
Nobles of the Summer Court, yes.
I'm just curious. Does that come with the ability to grant titles?
In the Feywild, yes.
What about in our service?
I believe that I could grant that. Why?
Curiosity. I was thinking I might take on, we were named the Crimson Blades, yes?
Yes.
There's no
Correct.
reason it must remain us 6 forever. One of us has been taken away. Perhaps we can start recruiting to our side in this fight.
We're going to need our own army eventually.
You already have our aid. Your army has grown.
Yes.
Getting
it has.
more into your army would be a bad idea.
Very well.
Also, you all talk amongst yourselves for a moment. I will be right back.
So, one thing I need to check.
There you go, Izzy. I have put the
Yep.
thought into the universe.
Yes, you.
Sly, no?
Yes, very much like my statement of Micnic. They said your deity is around here. Are you sure you want to leave so quickly? You may not get the
I have
chance to
not
ask for
said I
information
wanted
again.
to leave so quickly.
Now,
Well,
I
he's
will
He's quite
say,
stated he wanted to stay.
This
Well,
I
no,
will
entire
say-
session I have.
Yes.
I will say that Kai would never suggest what you and I have discussed behind the scenes. But
No, it would be Moxie.
with
convincing
Kai's
Kai.
history, he would probably be the one to bring up the notion in the first place.
Yes, but he wouldn't carry it out immediately. Though there is over table a title that I think it is only fair for you to confer upon him out of the 3 that he will be gaining if we do this. You know which
No, if
one
Kai
it
was
is.
thinking anyone, he was thinking Markle.
So,
But
we also need to go and talk to Archibald. He was ringing earlier, and I don't think anyone's picked up since Morgul closed the door.
Was he?
really,
Yeah, it was the end of the session. Archibald was ringing us.
oh, interesting. We'll have to call him back.
I want to say that's what it was. I could be completely wrong.
I think the last thing was Civic. I think the very last thing was Civic.
I want to say there was something with Archibald. That's the only reason I
There
say that.
was something with Archie. I don't remember what it was.
Hmm.
But it was a private thing. It was a call when we had all retired and were resting.
Hmm.
Anyway,
I don't know that Mark Hall will be willing to accept such a title, by the way. Only because look at the grandiose nature of what he does already.
hmm
Trying to bestow upon him a title of what we would consider a great honor is, for lack of a better word, beneath him.
So I have to run some tests on
but
everyone
also
that's
he's
in his
proved
web.
his worth.
Yes, I mean, at the very least, a blessing upon him and his family is in
Sorry,
order.
you were saying something, Leon?
Oh, I just said I needed to go and run some tests to make sure that the residual energy from the Shogoth that kind of exploded everywhere in the whole 10-mile radius didn't
Oh,
have
right.
some.
The remnants. That's what Archie
Yes.
wanted.
I wanted to see if that had any effect on your body specifically, since me and Nick did not get hit with it, but the dragon did. Did you guys get infected somehow?
I
Did you kill
seem
it
to be
off somehow?
fine. Well, here's the
Yes.
thing. When I resurrected him, things like that get purged.
Well, yes, I'm talking about our party specifically at this point.
Oh. I seem to be okay.
Yes, it seemed to
We
be, but we also saw.
Did you get any
Thoughts
samples from what's her
I
name?
managed to, yes, I managed to get one, but it was more goo, not really much of a body part left.
Her wings were ripped off, weren't they?
Yes.
They'd still
Fascinating.
be at ground zero then.
I
Buried under
guess
the ice.
if anyone wanted to try and get wings, that would be the easy way. I don't want
Over
wings.
table, they are way too big for
Nope.
you to even.
Think
Nope,
about
not
that.
gonna happen.
But could get a part of.
Yes.
I mean, that's like, going up to the Empire State Building and taking a pebble off of it. So,
Yeah, which is comparable to examining DNA to figure out how something works.
well, isn't that what Leon got last time?
Yeah, I grabbed a
Uh,
little bit
I
of
was
it,
just
but
wanting to
it's
make
more
sure
the
he had a
goo.
sample. Because last
Oh,
time,
Archie
Archie
was asking
specifically
for one.
called asking if we had a sample.
Either way, it is ultimately up to you or what you decide to do. You, I'm sure, have a multitude of paths that you could take. And building a army for this oncoming war, gaining as many allies as you possibly can, or having enemies of your enemies that become your friends.
and
These are all good ways to prepare for this war, but it is growing more. So, decide what you wish to do. We will keep in touch if you need to get in contact with us. I'm sure all that you need to do is only ask. Goodbye for now.
Understood.
Well.
Goodbye.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh boy.
So another thought occurs to me.
What?
Ravnica, correct? That's the town with all the guilds.
Yes?
Mm-hmm.
Should we check up on that later and see if we can't see?
It's been overthrown by Sharlock.
It's
Well, yeah.
yes, we've been there.
But is it kind of like the town where your priest,
Farpeak?
I wouldn't say friend, was, but I'm trying to say, is it completely run by the Shogoth at this point? Is it split? Are there resistance?
Considering it's where Sharlock's throne is, we don't need to be going back there anytime soon, Leon. We can just
I thought
assume the worst of it.
I thought that it was elsewhere.
No.
You remember the Astoria Guild? That's whose tower we were in.
Oh, you mean the Izzet Guild? Niv Mizzet's tower.
Was it?
Yes,
I thought it
Niv
was
Mizzet's tower.
I thought it was the.
Azorius?
Yeah, weren't they the law keepers?
Yes, they are.
I thought it was that tower.
No,
My mistake.
it was the Izzet tower that he
I
was.
thought it was completely separate to that. That's my bad.
And I'm just not great with what's
place
the word?
names.
No. Architecture.
To be completely honest, over table, it was that there was a new citadel that had been built within Ravnica from different bits.
Fair.
So the different faction housing areas and such, they are there, some of them in shambles, but the Payrunes that normally were once in charge of those areas, some are still in charge but working for Sharlock now, or some of them have been pushed away or retreated from Ravnica because of Sharlock's influence.
I imagine people like the Boros, the Azorius, the Selesnya, none of them have sided with him. If we were going to go looking for them, if we were going to go looking for any of them, that's who we would go looking for. The Simic, I'm not sure. Golgari, absolutely not. The Rakdos, that's going to be debatable.
The odds of any of them still operating within the city would be small, but I
Slim
doubt
to none.
I doubt they'd abandon the area entirely. If we'd find them, they'd be nearby.
It was just a thought for us to go and scavenge
That's
around
on
for
the
some
list.
allies.
I still think Kekimar is going to be one of our better options on
Oh,
this side of the
definitely.
map. We intended to go there before any of this happened regardless. Her telling us that she somehow destroyed it or did something terrible to it phases shouldn't change anything. Because she had no clue we were going to go there in the first place, so her telling us that, moot point.
It's either true or a
Or
lie,
it's not.
designed to drive us away.
Mm-hmm.
If it's true, no matter. We'll find out.
So after we have this chilling religious experience with Miknik, Kekimar it is.
All
Nice
right then.
pun.
As much as I still hate the bloody cold.
Oh, you got your cloak.
Great
I mean,
pun,
she's
though.
bundled up in it, and she's just like, she looks like an angry cat.
Hey, if you got a fire cantrip, just keep that.
I don't.
Be honest, are you cold?
Prestidigitation works pretty well for keeping warm. That's how I'm able to keep from shivering too
Or
much in the ship.
hell, I could make a torch for you.
I also just am bundled to high hell right now, so
Or
I'm
you
okay
could make a
for
hell
now.
torch for yourself.
Yes, I could. I could also do that. So are we going to go do this and give Morgul some time to heal?
Probably, yes.
Because the ship's fine in his care. We're not going to have to worry about it. He can easily drive away anything that's stupid enough to come close.
Yep.
Alright, let's go grab the riot and get moving.
Let's grab the riot. Sorry.
You and me both, though.
Yes, too.
Your all's animal companions come by you all. Starla wraps herself around.
Barry, you want to go for a walk?
Pardon me. Go for a walk.
Yes, we're gonna go for a walk
Well,
around this.
you know.
I mean,
It
this
might
weather is more
actually
your
be
speed
good.
now, isn't it?
Oh, yes. I do quite enjoy this now. And I am much younger, it would seem. I've shed myself completely. I'm a new frost salamander, I guess.
I'm half the age I used to be.
So, we're going on a hunt for a god.
As you all go up onto the deck, Mabari is sitting at the wheel.
We're gonna need to land
Yes.
this. What?
Why?
Because Miknik's deity is centered somewhere nearby. And he wishes to find answers.
Yes.
What, you don't like the cold?
Not really.
You just
Well,
see him
as he-
scribbling away in a notebook.
You see the ship.
Well, Kai says, looking at Moxie.
Moxie goes,
There was quite a lot of owlbear pelt. I could try and give you a similar treatment.
just make
As he-
sure to stand still.
I'm not sure it could
We will
account for
be
that.
Fine.
Fair enough. I'm not sure I'd be able to account for the transformation anyway.
We Shogoth prefer the...
Yes, but your host does not, and you must also keep that in mind.
It's a fascinating combination.
I wonder what would happen if
We
I
are
performed-
one.
That doesn't mean I don't still worry about him. You can take care of yourself. I understand that.
And he can take care
Mabari will
of
be
Mabari.
fine.
If he's not, I'm murdering you in your sleep.
She'll do it.
Well, that would really suck, because Mabari would be dead too.
You don't know the extent of what I can do.
Well, anyways, before going any further into this than we really need to, we have some stuff to do.
Yes, let's not hose down the decks just yet.
Fine. Then where are we off to?
We're following McNick. Your royal pain.
For the moment,
I guess
down.
we're following McNick.
As
Yes.
you all
It is your god.
get off of the ship, you
My God,
look
sure,
out
but doesn't necessarily
into
mean I know where we're going.
the wasteland, the icy tundra that is the Icewind Dale.
Where the frost
What do you do?
salamanders
Well,
sleep.
I am going
That was
to
something that was said.
roll.
Yes, to me.
You've made mention of it.
Religion.
We have a frost
Try and
salamander.
feel where we need to go.
Wait a moment.
For the first time ever, McNick
We
has to
have a
use the
frost
charisma.
salamander.
Mm-hmm.
Where would the frost
What are you
salamanders
thinking,
sleep?
The clue I was given long ago, that Moxie just brought back up, where frost salamanders sleep. Perry,
Mary, where do you think we should? Blah, 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 blah.
where would you
Defer to Kai.
look for?
I need
If
to roll
you
for
felt
him.
like you were going to go to sleep in this wilderness,
What would be ideal?
yes.
He takes a pause as he places his tongue onto the ice. Strange enough, this way.
Very well,
Okay.
let's go this way.
That was simpler than expected.
Mary, I will ride upon
I'm
you.
unsure if what I am feeling is what you are asking.
Well,
Seeing as
Perry,
how-
at the moment, none of us are sure of anything, so
Yep.
best to go with your instinct. And if it doesn't pan
In
out,
theory,
it doesn't pan out.
aren't we trying to find a god?
Yes.
Yes.
Yes, we are.
And
I
we actually
really
have a
wanna just
clue
say-
to
Wouldn't
that.
it make more sense for him to, I don't know, I'm not the religious type, try to pray to the god or something?
Over the
Yes.
table. I really
Yes,
want to just
that-
say, have guidance going on Perry, and him just kind of go like a GPS.
I do
Oh.
have guidance.
You,
Oh, I'm
you,
just joking. Over table.
Nick, you figure out what you need to do. I need to. Rory, come here.
As
I
Rory
proceed to touch
Comes up beside you.
Perry with guidance and do a prayer to the cold one.
Okay.
I
Rory,
rolled a 12, with
you
which
feeling all right?
religion with religion comes out to 18.
Okay. Am I feeling what, Master?
Are you feeling well?
As well as I can, I guess.
I
Quite
worry about you,
bruised
you
and
know.
battered.
I want to make sure that you're up to any adventures that we might have. Would you come with us, or would you prefer to stay here?
I'm already walking beside you, so I guess I'm in this for the long haul as well.
And Starla's going to just be glued to me because, well,
She can ride in your hood,
You
by
see-
the way. I gave it
You
extra
see
room.
that she kind of
scritch, scritch,
tucks
scritch.
herself into the hood as she wraps her wings around Moxie like a scarf. For now, you all are alone as you are traveling. You've now been traveling for quite some time. What do you do in these moments?
I'm stretching my legs trying to figure out these new shiny crystal pants.
They do not possess any powers, so
Sweet.
they're literally the things that are keeping you from being a
Crippled.
paraplegic right now.
Yeah.
So,
No, I know.
Moxie
Yeah.
gets a very, very mischievous moment, picks up a ball of snow off the ground and throws it at Mabari because she can.
So to say this in character,
Okay.
Kai's trying to test the range of motion, make sure everything still can move freely. Over table, I'm trying to make sure he doesn't have any negatives to the unarmored defense thing
Yeah.
going on.
Yes.
Yes, we're good, or yes, it's applied. Or wait, what'd I say?
What are you trying to figure out?
I'm trying to
exactly?
figure out if the
Whether
crystal pants
does anything to his unarmored
breaks my unarmored defense.
Does it hinder him?
Is it as though I'm still wearing light armor, or is it as though it's a heavy armor?
It is still considered light armor.
Fantastic.
Oh my god, cat. Hold on.
Primarily
So-
because it is psychic energy.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's
So I don't get any boosts, but I don't get any
He
negatives
does.
either. So that's what I
It's-
was trying to figure out.
yeah.
In character, Kai's just testing out what he can do.
The
Running up
downside to this is if over table, if those those new leggings are ever destroyed in any fashion, you
You are
will
screwed.
be back to being a paraplegic.
That's just that's just the same as breaking your leg.
If you destroy those in any way, or if the magic that keeps them tethered is ever zapped away or anything like that, then it will be
Now dispel magic.
it'll
Well,
be back to that.
I mean, at the moment, it's a point of pride for Kai, but he could always talk to Miknik about regenerate. So that's a thing. Which probably wouldn't work because this was set by a god. But
No, but it could regenerate the loss of your use of your limbs, period.
I don't know. We'll see. Maybe.
I would
Or not.
think, and this could be in character as well, if Miknik suddenly gets the inspiration, I would think that a regeneration spell on Kai's legs would actually cause his nerve endings to grow into the legs and effectively become organic in a sense.
My legs aren't made of crystal.
No, it's just like a covering.
It'd be like a second layer of skin.
This is why I keep saying crystal pants.
Think of it like in real life, how we have mechanical exoskeletons that paraplegics are starting to utilize in order to walk. It's essentially that, but
Okay.
it's they're basically magical pants that are keeping him from being a paraplegic.
Yep.
While moving around, Kai suddenly realizes that needle is in his leg. Long has that been there?
A very long time. I was going to avoid mentioning it to spare you your dignity.
Ooh, let's get off of dark topics and go to something a little more fun. If monks can walk on water and vertical surfaces, does that mean that I don't sink into the snow?
Does he not sink into the snow?
Am I like Legolas? I'm a legless Legolas, guys.
The DM's thinking about it.
Because I literally can walk over water, and ice is frozen water.
But snow is mush.
Yes, and water is fluid.
I'm going to say that you do sink into the snow.
Okay.
Primarily for the reason that the snow that is within this is not just solely water. There's dirt bits and things like that is
Yeah.
throughout it.
This
So
Fair
has
enough.
been walked through before.
so
I.e.,
it's a
it's dirty
completely
snow.
different kind of thing.
Okay. Anyway,
Yeah.
we got this somber
Good-
music. Seems to be putting
Good
everyone
question, though. Good question.
Oh, it's
Let's
called
make this a little bit
Winter Woods.
perkier.
It's the
See.
Icewind Dale. It's actually supposed to be
off. Dreary,
bleak.
cold.
a
The music's
a
appropriate for the setting.
soul-sucking area. If it
Feels
will.
like
That's why
home.
there's not a whole lot of things that happen in the Icewind Dale. As Moxie throws a snowball, a tendril
That is not fair.
as you see out from the back, you see Riot's face look at you as he
You are
goes
no
back
fun.
into Mabari.
Kai
She throws
has
another one.
Kai has a mischievous thought. Flurry of blows.
With snow.
Hey, Riot! Dodge this!
What?
I'm going to use a key point to get 6 throws in one turn, in the span of one turn. Let's see if we can catch them all.
Okay.
That's right. I'm going Jack Frost on this.
You must roll a 18 or higher.
Okay.
Come on, Kai, you got this. If you need an inspiration, use it. I have started a miniature war over nothing.
Yep. First one's 18. Second one is 23.
Shit.
Third one is 23. Fourth one is 27. Fifth one is 15. Sixth one is 28. And that's all just a hit. I'm not trying to do any damage.
It's non-lethal.
One
it's just
missed.
No.
So he has to contend with 5.
As you all see, Kai's arms, Riot.
I have been avenged.
You did good.
As he turns around, stop doing that!
But it's fun.
Why are you pelting me with hydrogen and oxygen?
Ask
Right.
Mabari,
No,
you moron.
Riot.
You try.
And ask Mabari why.
What is this, Mibari?
Hey, Moxie.
It's called
Oh no.
a snowball fight.
Oh, great. Ah, it's in my ear. Yeah. Oh, you're
Kai
They're
throws a
trying.
19 to hit Moxie.
Shoot.
What's your AC?
Much lower than
I
Oh, that would
believe
have
that
only
they
been...
are trying to have what they call fun.
Leon, you're not sitting this out.
Oh
Oh,
no.
come on, but I'm
28.
still working on. Ah! Don't get the paper wet!
And 21 for Micknick.
Oh no. Well, Micknick's not gonna care.
Bollocks.
I'm waiting for someone to join in.
I
As
mean, Moxie
Fine.
can't hit for shit.
you are starting to have a snowball fight,
8.
you see tendrils
Miss.
start going around in the snow as they start
17.
Wait a minute.
Oh no.
Hey, Mabari. Hey, Riot.
Oh dear.
Run!
I will join in on the festivities.
Oh no!
As you
Run!
see that he's conglomerated together a bunch of snowballs into a massive boulder of snow.
I'm gonna improvise a snow.
turn.
I'm improvising a snow fort. I rolled a 2.
She's just like, I can't move.
Everyone roll to dodge.
Let's see.
Okay,
Rolling
dodge. That would be athletics, yeah?
18.
24.
Well, no, higher than that, higher than that. Athletics, that's a total of a 29.
28.
Hmm. If I
Leon
was
is
lucky-
stuck.
Forgot to
What
load
did
up the dice
Leon
roller.
roll? Oh,
He forgot his dice.
ah.
That'd be 13.
Ooh.
As Riot throws the large boulder of snow, it starts rolling through the snow, picking up speed, picking up more snow, as Moxie, Miknik, and Kai and the rest of their animal companions dodge out of the way. Leon's face is in his book
Oh no.
as
Roderick!
Roderick's tail wraps around Leon as he
Um,
as it slams into Leon, and now Leon, I have to roll to see.
How sticky he is?
It does not stop.
Oh no. Alright.
As
Alright.
it continues to
Oh.
roll, Leon is now in this giant snowball.
Well,
You're the
Uh,
fastest.
As
Yep.
he's
I am running after it, and when I get there, I am going to punch the snowball with a
Wait, no, that's my leg!
14 to hit.
okay.
I mean, or I suppose I could have stood in front of it and tried to stop it, but punching it seems like it would be more effective.
you hit the snowball.
I'm
And
part
as
of
you
the
do,
snowball.
yeah. Well, actually, it's dense enough right now. It's that you don't get hit, but it does start to break it apart. But as it breaks it apart, more of those.
You've just
It's
made
picked
more of
up
them.
so much velocity that it's
Oh my.
made more of them. So Leon's out of the snowball now, but those snowballs are going in different directions. As you all look at Riot, I win.
That was awesome.
Moxie's gonna just run, tackle Glomp.
You know what?
On me next time.
There's just
Who are you trying to glomp?
Mabari.
Kai throws one more at Riot with a 20 to hit.
Oh god, you might hit.
You win.
That was awesome.
That's what winners get.
Not to mention the hug.
Well,
Not to
that's what
mention
the winners get in a
massive
snowball fight. It goes until someone gets bored, really.
hug. Yep.
Fine.
Here. That wasn't fair. I'll give you a freebie.
Oh dear.
Freebie.
It means you get
One
to. It means you get to go for me, and I don't block, and I don't retaliate.
Etc.
With a snowball,
His-
not fist.
Can I eat him?
Ideally, no.
Fine.
If you try, I will not go out without a fight.
I will do the snowball.
I think he said snowball.
He'll figure it out.
Instant regret.
And yep.
Yeah.
What's your AC?
18.
That does not hit as it whooshes right past Kai as he sidesteps out of the way. I blame your weak arms, Mabari.
Yeah, well, I blame you and your terrible temper for the reason why I don't feel okay talking to my best friend after 30 years, you asshole.
Easy, Moxie.
No,
Riot?
I'm not gonna take it easy. I deserve to be able to say how I feel. And Riot, you should understand better than anybody. You know his brain, you know his memories.
In any case, Riot, Kai offers his hand. Thanks for being a good sport.
What is this?
It's a sign of trust, a handshake.
And a sign of respect.
Mm-hmm.
Can I break it?
No.
You're supposed to firmly grab, but not so firmly that you break it, and then just shake. It shows
firmly.
Moxie
it
Grab.
shows
right.
trust because either of us could hurt each other, but
You
neither
all
one
grab
does.
his massive hand as it kind of wraps around Kai's.
There we go. Good job. You've managed. You have unlocked
Grasp
over table.
it!
Over table. You've unlocked an achievement. You learned handshake. Good boy. Sit.
You human have an odd custom.
We have many odd customs.
Technically, I'm the only human here.
That's
I
also true.
said human. You
Oh.
human have odd customs.
Fair enough.
Yes.
I misheard.
Yes, he does.
It is odd. I've never quite understood it, but
As you
comforting
all
at the
have,
same time.
you have been continuing to travel as you're doing this. Riot slunks back into Mabari as Mabari continues to walk forward. What do you all do?
Oh, that was fun.
It was fun, but
At least it wasn't me that got lodged in the snowball. I think I might have cast a fireball, and that would have been very bad.
You know what? Just so no one feels left out, 21 to hit Mabari. With a snowball.
Riot's going to show up.
Yeah.
Really?
Spoil sport. Kai turns to give him an opening to throw it right back at him.
Mabari's head turns around. You all can continue to throw snowballs. We will just keep catching them.
Well, you have
Figured.
turned into a cranky old man, haven't you?
We are more than we once were.
Yes, and you are also significantly less than I remember you being in the personality department, thanks to that.
Something to consider. I'm stronger than I used to be. But I'm not much smarter. The difference is I've become wiser. Becoming stronger doesn't necessarily make you better.
I don't
Than
just
you
call
used to be.
Riot. I don't just call Riot an asshole because he's gruff about how he speaks. I call him an asshole because he doesn't try. And you hide behind him. I've never known you to hide behind anybody.
Rory! Rory, want the stick? Get the stick. There you go.
Now?
Yes, now.
Really?
Come on, let's go.
Fine.
Kai jogs lightly away after Rory, giving you a moment. Over table.
You see that, Moxie, your words cut into Mabari as his silence is weighing heavily on him.
I
What an
understand it's also been about 30 years since I last had contact with you. And a lot's changed in 30 years. I very much understand that. A lot's changed in the 15 years that it's been for me. But I am sad to see that you are not quite the person you used to be. There are some things about you that have changed for the better. You've grown up and you've survived. But you seem so cold. Colder than even the ice that we're standing on. And I don't want that between us.
I had to grow cold.
Then you stand a chance of warming up again with enough time. I can learn to be patient. I've never been patient in my life, but for you, I can learn.
You left me.
You pushed me away.
I had to.
And I couldn't find a way back.
In your absence, I had to change.
And away from Far Peak, I changed a great deal too. Spat in the face of the void, to be fair. I left its service what seems like an age ago, but it's only been recent.
You made me a better person a long time ago. I
You
thought
made sure.
sending you away, I was protecting you.
You shoved
And I
me out into
did.
a world. Yes, you sent me off with Elanon that I only just recently learned how to open. That book that you gave me. I only just learned how to open it in the last year. And I had to learn to get along in a world where people hated me just because I have horns and a tail and my skin's gray. I've been arrested more
We
than
both
once.
had to do that. Not many people want to talk to a dragonborn, especially in today's climate.
Yeah, well, safest place you'll ever be is with us, because we're not going to judge you. And as for the things you've probably done, they know what I did. Thereby yours is nowhere near surprising.
I had to do a lot worse.
And it's all forgivable. You're free now. We ensured you're free.
I don't like this feeling. What is this?
She reaches out and just firmly smacks him across the face. Now you listen to
see
me.
his form grow even larger as his muscles start getting bigger.
A
I don't
snowball
care.
whizzes in front of his face.
You can sit down and shut up. We're having a conversation.
All right, just trying to use attention. Sorry.
No, not you. That was at Riot. She acknowledges what you did, and she's fine. She's staring down Riot and saying, you can sit your petty ass down and shut up. I am having a conversation with someone I very much love and care for. You can learn to deal with emotions. That's part of having a host. Part of being humanoid. We have emotions. You have to learn to deal with them.
These feelings are unknown to me.
Then ask him what they mean later, or we can sit down and have this conversation another time. Right now, I'm busy. And I'll smack you again if you get involved, again, where you are not requested. Am I clear? You don't scare me. You never have. You never will. So sit down.
Fine.
Thank you. That felt good, but ow, my hand. Ow. Ow, I shouldn't have done that.
What did you do?
It's right. It hurt.
The good
Oh,
okay.
news is you could dip your hand in the ice and soothe it.
She does put her hand in the snow for a second and take it back out. That wasn't smart of me. Next time I decide to do that, remind me that it's stupid to do so.
Over
think
table,
that
does
was-
everyone have a way of keeping warm in this climb?
I think we all still do from our last
Grew
time
up
we
here.
were
I'm used
now.
to it.
And Micknick's also perfectly fine. Leon would be the only one with any problem, but I believe he has
Leon,
something.
are you keeping yourself warm with prestidigitation?
Yeah, but that's only going to do so much, unfortunately.
I mean, Moxie can shed, like, one
How
of her
long does it last
jackets.
for?
It lasts for about an hour every time I cast it, and it's a simple cantrip. It heats
It's
up
a
about 5
cantrip, so-
degrees.
Okay. Does it have a particular limit to how much cold you can take?
It just heats up by about 5 degrees or cools by 5 degrees. It doesn't last very long in
Hmm.
this temperature.
Okay.
I mean, if need be, I can always just send Starla over to wrap around you like a little bit of a scarf so she can keep you warm.
I'm also wondering if Roderick has anything he could use to help out his master.
Yes, that too.
I'm worried about
Great
Roderick turning into a
question.
popsicle at this point. He's used to the more temperate areas.
I mean, considering where the troublesome former priests used to live, yeah, there's no snow in Far Peak. You would think there would be, but no.
Yeah, the name does imply that, doesn't it?
Yeah, the name implies quite a lot of things, but nope.
Not many of them seem true
Though
at the
here's
moment.
the other thing. The people in charge might just have wards to prevent things like snow. I mean, there are a bunch of dark magic users. It's not entirely
Any chance we're
illogical.
getting close, Perry?
Yes, actually. I feel much more at home.
That's good.
I mean, the only clue that we've got is the hint that we can find the cold one where the frost salamanders sleep. So,
Micknick, you feel a burning sensation coming from your Charlatan rock.
Oh, God! I instinctively drop it in the snow, keeping a close eye on it.
what the?
As it drops in the snow,
Holy sheet!
a
That was my
shock
sound.
wave travels through out the snow. You see it go.
So,
What?
no more snow at this point, or
No, there's snow. It was over the snow.
Just a shockwave.
it was
Something
just
happened.
also
Just like
burning. So,
Well,
Kai says, "Well, that was odd. Leon, are you
What the-
cold?"
the fuck was that?
Just a little.
I reach out
Rory.
to touch the stone.
Rory, do you suppose he's small enough that he could huddle up with you?
It
for warmth?
is much colder now. It feels normal
I
again.
pick it back
But
up.
you see that it is slightly glowing.
Okay, I go to pick it back up and hold it in my hand.
Okay.
Well, that
Well-
was interesting. I'm looking at my party as I say that. Stone is now
It's glowing slightly.
Kai's ignoring that and looking between Leon and Rory, trying to judge sizes.
Okay, so over table,
this
you
you?
obviously know that Leon is considered small enough to technically ride on a wolf.
Yes, but Kai hasn't mentioned anyone riding Rory before to Rory, so he's considering this to bring it up.
That's fair.
How do I break this to
You know,
enlighten me?
it didn't go before Micnic. I'm wondering if that means something.
I'm sure it means something, and hopefully
I
something
think
to
it
do
means
with
we're
the
getting
cold one.
close.
Thank the gods.
One in particular, perhaps.
Rory,
What?
could I convince you to do something a little embarrassing?
You're in good company, Rory. No need to worry.
Leon's not built for this
Yes.
weather. You are.
Okay. What are you asking me to do?
Let him ride on your back so that your fur can keep him warm.
Pardon me.
I
I
would
think
not
you
ask if
heard
it
him
weren't a
correctly.
necessity. Look at
He
him.
is going to freeze.
He's
if
pitiful.
you don't.
His poor tail is
Do
tucked.
I look like a stallion to you?
Rory,
You
look
have
at
the
him.
majesty of one.
Rory, look at him. His poor tail is tucked.
Oh, not
Fine.
funny.
Rory goes over and
Now, just don't hold on too tightly because he will not like it if you pull out fur.
And do not pull on the ears.
No.
Yeah, didn't plan on it, but
as
thanks
you
for the
all
tip.
continue to
Oh,
travel for a while longer,
Leon, roll balance.
fucking
Oh no.
none of
Oh,
my
no.
none of my damn battle tables panned out. That sucks.
Oof.
We had a fun encounter.
Yes. Encounter.
You all come to this crevice where Perry stops. And as you all look into it, you see what looks to be, to your count, 34 frost salamanders that are slumbering within this chasm. These frost salamanders that you see do not look like Perry. They are much, much, much larger.
Oh my lord.
And they have 6 limbs.
Harry, I
Well.
don't suppose you can speak friend, can you?
They're sleeping. Let's just.
Well, I mean,
I don't
should
know.
they awaken? Also, over the table, yes, I did intend that reference.
I'm unsure as if I could do that. I've never spoken to others.
Well, hopefully we won't have to.
As you all see these sleeping salamanders and the snow that's kind of covering your vision slightly begins to part, you notice what looks like a almost like a church that is up on the hill.
Throwing this out there.
my,
Sleeping Salamanders.
everything.
Great name for a band.
And the church is covered in ice.
This is much prettier than the cathedral in Farpeak.
That seems significant.
Then again, I think any architecture is better than that in Farpeak. So. Shall we?
What do you do?
Micnic, this is on you, bud. Do we approach or do we
Do
not?
I feel, based on my prayers or any other inclinations, the interest in approaching, safety in approaching.
Yes.
Even. I feel
Does
like
anybody-
we should approach the door.
Before we
Well,
do,
you're not there yet. I forgot to mention one thing.
Oh dear.
That church is on the other side of the chasm.
We are going to have to stealthily walk through a.
So how big
Well,
is this
hang
chasm?
on.
And how far is it?
How do I feel about the castle?
You feel as if that is where you should be.
So I still need to know how far is it?
I need to roll.
Just a rough estimation, Justin.
I need to roll some dice.
A couple 100 feet.
Oh, who wants to fly across?
before we try anything, does anyone know, perhaps having a knowledge of animals, whether giant salamanders are inherently hostile?
That's a total of 24 nature check.
Extremely.
I relay that to the party.
Well.
There's a reason why they say a deity is found where these sleep.
So they're the guard dogs.
Well,
Noted.
then we should perhaps resort to mental communication from here forward.
Yeah, telepathic bond. Everyone.
If you could set that back up.
Yeah, that's happening now.
And stealth rolls.
10 minutes later.
Now,
Right.
in mental, obviously. The only problem is we don't have Morgul for Pass Without Trace.
Oh well.
But, thankfully, the clumsiest of our party is sitting on an animal that has extremely good stealth.
He rolled a 9 balance.
Further in our favor is that we are visiting what should be the land of deity. So there should be favor in that regard.
Yes, but the frost salamanders are still going to be outwardly, openly
The
hostile.
frost salamanders are here because of her.
Wait, we're at
Let's
the
still
we're at
not
the bottom of a
wait
chasm?
Yes.
You have started to lower yourselves in as you're having these discussions into this chasm because now you also are thinking, well, we have to get over to that. Now there's these 20, 30 foot long giant frost salamanders that are all that you all hear is
Well, if anyone doesn't want to, climb down, we can always fly across and up.
So
I mean,
Nat
that's a good
once
idea.
again spoke in off-topic something that would be very prudent to say aloud.
Out loud.
What?
He rolled a 9 balance and said that he is probably all but entirely upside down.
yes.
No!
That was
As
just
he-
while we were traveling earlier.
So that wasn't recently?
No, that was just earlier.
No,
When he
that
first got on.
if
when he first
anything,
got on,
yeah,
he
that was like
just-
5 minutes ago. If anything, that was right when he got on, and I said, "Roll a
Oh,
balance" as a
okay.
joke.
Yeah, and I did.
I will.
I can roll
I'll
again
let
if you
it-
wish.
Why would
Roll.
you say that?
Well, he was going to do something.
Why
so it's
would you
required.
say that, Leon?
Hey, I rolled
Why
a 20
would
this
you
time.
ever say that?
20
Yeah,
total.
Roll.
Oh, 20.
20 total. So
He
I
is
think I.
balancing like a fucking ninja.
Fantastic.
Well,
You've got your sea legs, or
He's-
the wolf legs?
Riding legs. Riding legs.
he's gonna be walking
Maybe.
bow-legged when he gets off, but he is gripped on.
Don't remind me.
So what do you all do?
I'm partial to the flying idea. I was going
over
to
the
suggest.
table- I over the
What?
table think of a Top Gear reference.
I mean, you could say it for the people who aren't familiar.
Oh, you're talking about the raft idea across the river filled with caiman, aren't you?
Well, since no one is suggesting anything in character except for Leon, who suggested flying,
I think
Kai
that's the best
responds,
option.
I was going to offer to walk down this side, walk up the other side, and y'all send a rope across.
I mean, we could do the same with flight, but yes.
I didn't think flight was an option. I forgot about that. You've only used it once.
Well, let's hurry up before they wake up, shall we?
So I can get 5 people to fly. Oh, let's see. That'd be
That doesn't include
10
critters,
minutes.
though.
But I could choose to
I
get
think
the
it would be
ones.
the people and whoever they can carry.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, Starla's on me, that's no problem.
Mm-hmm. Perry
Not to
could
mention we
easily
can
carry
always go in
Mick,
trips. Or
That's fair.
I could
or
choose
Perry
one of
could
the
go
animals.
across on his own. Rory would undoubtedly carry Leon.
Yep.
And I think that covers it, actually. Oh,
Kinda
Mabari.
does. Well, yeah, but he's just solo, so that's
Mhm.
not
And
hard.
since we'll be flying, it's kind of hard for us to, unless someone of us sneezes,
Don't
we're not going to be.
Why?
put that out in the universe, Leon. Just shut up and please do the spell.
This is almost as bad as what's his name?
Draxus.
Draxus
That's-
asking about eldritch things, and then it became a central theme of the campaign.
It was always the central theme of the campaign.
Yes, but we didn't know it by then. It's like he willed it into existence.
It seems like he did, but it didn't.
Yeah, I know.
It would have eventually come up.
Alright, let's get this show on the road, shall
Let's
we?
get rolling. Aha.
So everyone can fly 60 feet in any direction they want. They can't. And if you were to fall, you just stay aloft.
I'm sorry, 60 feet?
Yeah, you can travel 60 feet every turn.
Every
Oh,
turn. Okay.
okay.
Well then, that's fine.
For how long?
10 minutes.
Oh, we'll be
That's
across in-
easily enough to make the different distance.
Yep,
That's why I
let's
kept
go.
suggesting it.
Hell,
Let's
let's just
move.
go directly toward the castle then. Why
church.
land?
Yep, let's just go to the
Cathedral,
church.
I think.
Well, fuck. Okay. So,
I know, you wanted us to face the frost salamanders, and I was kind of itching for it.
as you see Leon as he lifts everyone up and you start heading toward the cathedral. You get to the doors as they're completely iced over. What do you do?
Nick, do I need to knock? Knock. What's the whole religious practice here?
There's a eerie silence
What
to
do I feel?
the chasm.
Are there any words and
You
inscriptions?
feel like you're at the place that you should be.
Moxie's kind of watching the back to make sure the salamanders haven't woken up.
Feels like home. But yeah, is there any writing on the door or the walls? Any kind of indication of anything?
Going to do a perception check to.
Just symbols of the cold one.
Okay, that was a 1, so I'm going to do
That's an
another
ambience.
perception check. Okay, that's a whole lot better. 19 total perception to see what I can see with regards to the door. Figure what I can figure.
As Mick is starting to examine it, Mick's eyes start to see what looks like writing that appears only to him.
I can see some writing. I'm trying to make it out.
It says, "Breathe your last breath to enter."
You look startled.
What is it?
Mick just breathes with his fingers touching the text.
Interesting.
McNick proceeds to look at his hands, as if to see if they're still hands.
You
General
see
check
that
on himself.
there is what looks like your fingers are starting to turn black, almost like extreme frostbite.
Well, that's certainly not a good
I think
thing.
we should
It's not
hurry
good.
through.
Let's hurry on through then. Come on. Especially before these frost salamanders wake up.
Let us
As you
proceed. This does
enter
feel
the
right.
cathedral, you see pews and what looks like the statue of a hunched over mix between an owl, um, an owl that is almost mixed with like a werewolf, and two massive ram horns, as the figure
Hey.
is shrouded in cloak, um, with another statue that is behind that one, as one hand is grasping the shoulder of the hunched over being. This one is completely comprised of what looks like ice or crystal, as it has a humanoid form and what looks like a crown of ice atop her head, as her hands, her her fingers are these long talons of icicles.
McNick approaches the first statue and takes a knee off center to it, slightly more centered with the second statue.
Kai is nervously watching Miknick's hands.
And does a bow.
Do you think we should be bowing as well?
Couldn't hurt.
Not our religious practice, not our place. Let's
Maybe we should just politely stand in the back, like at a wedding.
yeah.
I'm not too
Mick,
sure.
as you kneel, do you do anything else?
Initially, no. After not feeling anything, I try to mentally pray to the Cold One, to reach out.
What do you say?
We have come to you seeking any answers, guidance. To seek you.
You see ice start to form over everything in the entire cathedral, as it
I did it.
Mm-hmm.
I can't hear what you're saying, unfortunately.
It was just a sound.
Discord's muting it, unfortunately.
Generally,
Can you hear it or
probably
no?
what
No.
we're hearing in the music track anyway.
Yeah, probably. Anywho,
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Discord doesn't like windy sounds.
as you see what look like shards of ice start forming around, as you all feel a presence behind you that touches each of your shoulders, as chills literally run up your spine, as it makes its way through you sense a presence that starts forming, and from behind the statue,
We felt that before in the Makage's carriage.
you see a
Trying to blend
hand
in.
as she you see her cloak completely flow over her like snow that starts falling as it hardens into ice. As you see these piercing blue eyes that open. Hello. Again.
Hello.
Big.
Kai kneels at her appearance, not in reverence, but in gratitude.
She stands as she starts to come up. She stands about 14 feet tall. Why have you come to me?
To show gratitude at the very least for your continued assistance and guidance. We heard
Picnic, you're a
that
little quiet.
we heard that you hailed this area and wanted to seek you out.
Oh, over table, don't forget to mention the dragon we just slew to keep her territory safe.
And we, as you may have discovered, have slain the ice dragon that was trying, I think, to take over the land, including
The
you,
name Nytheria pops into your head.
Nytheria.
Yes. Nytheria was beginning to become a thorn in my side. I appreciate what you've done.
You are unwell.
The battle with Sharlock. As she moves her cloak aside, you see great wounds dealt to her.
Picnic, do you think your healing powers would work on a god?
Yours did.
Certainly willing to try. I immediately tried to do a healing rose.
She looks down at you as she places one of her clawed fingers up to your chin. I'm sorry, dear. Sharlock's magic is too great.
Well, I shall continue my fight against him.
You are not here. As she starts to swirl around as she's now in the rafters, as you all see the piercing blue in the dark. You're not here to come with thanks. I sense you're here for something from...
We have questions, Kai says, still kneeling and avoiding eye contact, that we were told only you can answer.
You feel her behind you, Kai. Then please tell me what it is that you would like to know. As you feel the absolute, like you even feel, Kai, you're used to the cold. You feel true cold.
I'm gonna roll fortitude on this to see if I'm even able to speak at this moment. Ooh, that is low. 44. Shivering,
you.
Kai says, the Shogoth creatures. We found one that doesn't
Conform.
act normal. Help.
Kai,
So
do you
cold.
need...
Why is it so cold?
We have found at least one Shogoth that does not conform to the rest of its kind. And we have limited information about them as a whole. We know where they come from, but we do not know why they are here, what the Cinderflame wants with them, any of it.
Moxie, you now feel her. You dance around questions. As you feel her fingers like ice around your forehead, as she speaks directly into your ear. Be more direct.
Why would the Crawling Chaos send the Shogoths to Sharlock?
These questions you have, they come with great cost.
As many things do.
That is a straight 50. Wow. Oh no,
Yeah.
that's
What would
5.
the
I read that
costs
backward.
be?
What, Leon?
I asked what would the costs be?
What would you give?
Oh, I thought you were continuing there for a second.
No, I'm trying to get Kai to react every time he says something, but with my rolls, I got 29. As long as I'm below 50, Kai's kind of frozen in shock and or fear at what he's
Mhm.
experiencing,
Or literal cold.
or literal cold.
So,
Religious
It's
cold.
the
what would
cold
an
one is
equivalent
female.
be, as an example?
Correct.
Over
She is
table.
female.
So no calling sir.
Ma'am, what would be an equivalent in
What
your
is it that you're
eyes?
asking in return?
She in front of Mick. Within your bag, there is something I sense. What is that that holds such power?
The Chardolin stone?
Yes.
I present it. It sent a shockwave on the snow earlier.
Yes. There is something you can do for me. I will answer the questions that you have. But in return, you are to take care of a problem. This is Chardolin, one of the rarest resources in all of Thera. The magical properties that this can hold are vast. It can be imbued to do a great many things.
Over the table, Mignik is refraining from saying how he already knows all of this because we've been told it about half a dozen times while in previous cities, just so that everyone is aware that I'm not, like, forgetting all of it.
I mean, there is such a thing as tact.
Yes.
There
I will
is
be right back.
one in the Icewind Dale that collects Chardolin. And he has been doing so for quite some time. A Duergar king that resides underneath the dale. His name is Zardarak Sunbite. He has been touched, I think, by madness. Maybe some of the same that you've been experiencing through these eldritch horrors. Word. As she, behind Leon, has spread throughout the dale, that Zardarak is building a weapon. Something he believes that he will be able to take on Sharlak himself. Zardarak wishes that the Duergar no longer hide in the shadows. He believes this weapon could bring his reign into the light, giving more to his people. This weapon he builds. As she touches Moxie, Mick, and Kai at the same time, is completely comprised of Chardolin.
Kai suddenly stands. A Dwergar was about to cut open Lorna. A Dwergar was working for Nytheria.
Yes.
12 rolls to get above a 50. 12.
She stands in front of Kai as you're staring into the deepest blue eyes. Speak my.
I'm sorry, could you say that again? Didn't quite come through.
Speak your mind.
Can the Dwergar be trusted? We know one of them is allied with Sharlock.
It's dead.
How do we know that the rest of them aren't already turned to his cause? This Zardarok, already corrupted, you say touched by the madness we've been seeing, the Shoggoths, no doubt.
Maybe. But he has become a problem. As I said, if this weapon that he is building, if he unleashes it, and it truly is made of Chardolin, he would have had to have gotten hundreds of thousands of pounds of the rarest material that lies underneath Thera. If this weapon is unleashed, I fear with the madness that the king has come down could be more trouble than what he thinks could come of it.
When first you spoke, it seemed you wanted us to go try and form an alliance.
Now it seems you want
That's
to
not
take
how
him
you
down.
want him dealt with.
I want to see if he can trust it. I want to see what this weapon is. The reason your Chardolin is acting the way it does is because it's trying to get to the rest of its kind. And unfortunately, when you dropped it,
He knows we're here.
Is he coming?
Are you so
possibly.
scared?
So, that begs the question. Assuming you can provide any guidance at all on this matter, how should I keep the stone secure, lest we find he's untrustworthy?
That is the interesting part. Because your Chardolin is no regular piece of Chardolin, is it?
No, not at all.
I feel that Zardarok would love to add that to his creation.
Not letting go of
If
this stone.
I were to use my magic to shield it, you would be unable to communicate with your friend resides in it.
Well, should we call him out now, see how he feels about this?
This is something you must decide yourself. Protecting the Chardolin requires the loss while you're here of your ally. Until such time that the threat of this Zardarok is dealt with.
We know someone who can protect it. Gwunk.
Oh, you're serious?
I'm sorry, you want me to feed my stone to Gwonk?
You wish to...
Is that what you are suggesting, Kai?
I'm suggesting that he is familiar with minerals and could safeguard it.
And what should happen if this Zardarok decides to abduct Gwonk?
Who says we're going to let that happen?
All
Says
of
we
your
have to.
mouths begin to be covered in ice. Silence. As it's gone. You feel her presence behind you all again. That is not the only question you came to ask. I have no time to dilly-dally.
I have 2 questions.
You better make sure that they are the right ones. I will only answer 2 questions.
Over table, does anyone else have a question?
Outside of the whole 6 thing,
6 thing?
uh,
The 6,
the
whoever.
boxes.
Hmm.
I don't know if that'd be something she would have any knowledge of, etc. So I wouldn't know.
Furthering the over-the-table discussion, Nicknick
Otherwise
gets
known
the
as Psychic Link.
Mm-hmm.
Nicknick gets the impression that Loratoin would rather the stone be protected.
Mm-hmm.
So he's definitely leaning that way.
So, the questions that I have, I just want to make sure we're on the same page here, are if she knows anything about the entity inside of Civic
Mm-hmm.
and who's controlling it. And the second one is whether she can tell us anything about the boxes.
Would the first one count as 2 questions, though?
Depends on your phrasing.
I feel like we're being pushed towards asking the question about her identity.
Whose identity?
The cold ones?
The cold one.
Wasn't that a point of contention last session?
That's just me, man. That's just me. I don't think anyone else was saying anything about that except me.
No, you thought it was just. I think we all think it's a weird coincidence that the Cold One shares a name with an eldritch god.
Yeah. So, no one else? Are we okay with the questions I'm thinking? This is why I'm inducing the psychic link. You guys can fix me.
I mean, she
Invoking,
asked a
that's the word.
singular question that she was going to ask.
Okay. So then Kai turns toward where he feels her presence, trying to meet her eyes again. You have knowledge far beyond this tundra. So I ask you, what do you know of the entity that resides within Civic and those who control him?
That, my dear, is 2 questions. Choose one of
While I consider which one is more important, my second question. There are boxes of great power that have been stolen from the Feywild. We know they came from the Dark Spire. What is their purpose?
to be open.
Well,
An answer.
that's an answer.
And those who are controlling Civic?
I will answer the questions now. She, in front of Moxie, ask your question again.
Why did the crawling chaos give the Shoggoths to Sharlock?
Sherlock asked to be made into a god. When Sherlock asked for help to the void, he was making a contract. He was gifted an army that he could manipulate populace and empower those that he deemed worthy. The Shoggoth are his means now of turning everyone into worshipping him. We gods thrive, think, as she wraps herself around the statues. What is that one thing?
This is Mabari.
Huh?
Unless I misunderstood what just happened.
I
They
didn't
thrive
hear
on
you
one
correctly.
thing, didn't they? Was it they thrive
Gods
on one thing that
thrive-
she said?
We gods thrive on one thing.
Okay,
Worship.
worship. Yeah, I misunderstood what happened.
Save
I thought she had
one-
recoiled for some
save
reason.
one. Save
No,
one
she
or
coiled
two.
herself around her statues as she was making that statement.
Got it,
Save
got it.
one or two specific entities that exist that have existed since before there were worshippers to do the worshipping. Gods exist because of their followers.
So, do the math. If one has entities that can control populace,
They can ensure that they
what
keep
can
their
he do?
power. So long as he has followers, he has power.
The more followers, the more power.
This just got ugly. Very, very ugly.
Not so ugly as it might seem.
No.
Mabari is proof they can control the body, but not the mind. They have no say there.
And
They
we've
can
also
Not
supplicate
everyone.
physically, but they will never truly worship.
She appears in front of Kai now. Ask your second question.
I did. You dodged it. So instead, I'll ask another. In all of my studies, I have never seen your name appear in any religious text.
Silence. I did not dodge your question. I gathered all three questions, and I will answer them in sequential order. I merely asked for what the three questions are. Now that I know the three questions, you must ask them again.
Who is controlling Mabari? No, Civic. Misspoke. Sorry, I do that.
To figure out who is controlling Civic. You need own figure out. Created the boxes in the first place.
person controlling Civic is the same person who created the boxes. Why does that point to someone we already know and hate?
Speak
Assuming
plainly, it's
Civic.
Aeon.
Yep. He's the one who created them.
We assume. He's certainly
We've
the one who took them
seen-
away from the Dark Spire.
So he's. Now, I could be wrong, but weren't we in the Feywild when they were just appeared? Or what, that's what we had speculated. Because.
We should save that discussion for a time we
Oh,
can
it's
dissect
just
the
bringing it
timelines a
up.
bit easier.
Yeah.
Why is there an in-character post? Not in character
Oh, it
here.
was
Oh, I see.
just me going, ah.
Ask your third question.
What will happen if the boxes are opened?
If the boxes are opened, the ones that were put inside them will be released.
The
And
six who
all
tore...
is ours it will be again.
The six who tore the world asunder.
Yes.
Over table. Sometimes I hate being a writer because I put things together before we have the information that should let us put it together.
Yep.
I got nothing. If you are you guys waiting on me? I got nothing.
No, but
It's just.
so
It's shocking, certainly.
Yeah.
well now we have
When
more
the
information.
boxes are open, the ones trapped inside them will be released again. And once they walk amongst the living once more, everything will be as it once was.
That makes me think we need to open them and whoever took them doesn't want them to be. Oberyn said that they were
being opened.
be as it once was. As it once was when is what we need to find out now. As it once was before Sharlock, or as it once was before there was any kind of order in the universe, or what?
Before creation was a thing.
We need to go find more information. We can't make a decision on these boxes with what we have.
She. I've answered your questions.
Seal the stone.
Zardarok Sunblight. That is what I need you to do now.
Go ahead and seal
that
the
we
stone.
As for your stone, she encases it in ice. When you leave the Icewind Dale, the stone will be released to you again.
Thank you.
But for the time that you remain here, your friend to be able to speak.
I'm certain that he would agree this is the best way forward. Well,
You have your information.
I think we know what we're doing from here. Moxie, I
Yeah?
hope you're feeling charismatic.
Honey, when am I not?
Just saying it's going to come in handy, I'm sure.
Moxie will, however, take a gold coin from her bag and say a silent blessing over it and leave it in a secure place in the church before she leaves.
Offering.
That no one else will come looking for trouble now that Nytheria is gone. Just a small token of appreciation.
Kai will also offer a silver piece. Just simply in gratitude.
Leon's brokery would do similar.
How do you have so little money? What have you been spending it on? I'm a monk. I don't carry money, and I have money.
I think it
Leon
was just
has
not spread out
never...
at the moment.
Yeah,
Either
Leon's
that or I've
just
been
never used it.
well, I
Over
guess
the
I don't know.
table. In my notes, I missed a name. Zardrock believes this weapon could bring whose reign into the light?
His own?
It was his own? Okay.
Mhm.
We heard the name Zardarok Sunblight somewhere in the Feywild.
I thought it was
Mhm.
Sunbite.
Sunblight. But we heard his name before. I remember hearing it.
To the archives.
You have heard it before.
Thought it sounded familiar.
Hmm.
Well,
Goodbye.
thank you.
Thank you.
Maybe next time. You'll see. As she a cold gust of air pushes against you all as the
I think
doors
that's our cue out.
fly open.
Yep, let's be on our merry little way. Well,
Okay.
that was a harrowing experience.
Certainly was chilling.
And here I thought my ears burning at the sound of the sepulchre was bad. I feel like I have frostbite on my tail. Now let's see if we can get out past the salamanders again.
This is frustrating. Everywhere we go, I feel like we get more questions than answers.
Such is the way of gathering information. Every time you get an answer, 2 new questions arise.
I was going to say, for every one door you close, 3 more open.
Well, we are building a legacy. Seems fitting.
Well, I suppose we should head back then.
Yes.
And deal with this Zardarok.
Make sure Morgul and Gwonk haven't gotten into any trouble in our absence.
Oh, heaven forbid.
So, head back
Oh,
to the
heavens.
ship. Gather up Morgul.
Morgul
and
was
prepare.
asleep, and the boat is held together with iron nails.
I don't think Wonk is going to destroy it.
I don't think he's that hyperactive.
I'm not willing
Yet.
to take that risk. Let's hurry.
Let's hurry.
All right,
You
Perry.
are
let's
faster than any of
keep
us.
moving. I shall saddle up on Perry.
Well, Leon, hop on. Rory, let's go.
Let's see how he does on balance on the way
I
back.
go ahead and bless Leon for balance.
Yeah, because that's a 5.
Yeah.
So he reaches over and pokes Mabari.
As you
I wonder
all
how fast you
have
got.
been traveling, you start to get closer to the boat as you feel the earth quake beneath your feet.
Well, that's not a good
Concerning, let's
thing.
keep moving.
Oh shit.
That's concerning, but let's keep
Not
moving.
a good sign.
Did it seem to come from a specific direction?
Or below us?
Or just
Underground.
Right.
Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit! Oh shit!
I'm beginning to wonder, and I'm
Yep.
saying this telepathically, if our destination is underground.
It probably is.
Of course it is.
I mean, the dude got
Reminds
on
me of my
into
time doing
the
cave
Underdark.
spelunking.
What that entails for us.
So, my question is something coming up to us, or are we looking for a way down?
Hopefully they're
Yes.
just making a larger
I
hole
think
for
either
whatever they're
one is
doing.
equally plausible.
That was an in-character way of saying, what are we doing?
Still going to the ship.
We're trying to get back to the safety of the ship to figure out which direction we're going and hopefully not just get swallowed up by the ground.
Yes, and not get separated from Morgul and Glonk. And the rest of our
So,
crew.
so keep going.
That's what I
Yes!
figured.
Okay, keep going.
Self-preservation.
I just
All right.
talk, people, talk. Come on.
I thought that's
did
what we
talk.
had
In
already
character.
discussed, but
Well, I was doing the in-character
The-
thing of...
As
when
you all
when the DM is staring at us expectantly, it means we haven't been clear enough.
get onto the ship,
You're everything.
you see what looks like a far off
Oh god.
boy.
an explosion out of the ground as you see smoke rising from beneath.
Drama music, drama music.
As the smoke rises, you all look over to it, looking at each other, thinking that this might have something to do with Zardarok's plans.
Oh no.
I am the Underminer. For years we have been below you, and now nothing is beneath me.
Where is my suit?
Ah, super suit!
I couldn't I was trying, I couldn't resist.
Your all's first instinct is to go down. You need to get the team back together. You all stare at each other and look at Morgul's door.
Moxie bravely walks
You take
forward.
a deep breath in,
Knock, knock.
and that is where we are going to leave off tonight, folks. I thank you all so much for joining in on this fantastic episode, Crimson Moon
Yes.
Chronicles. We will be back same time, same great place next week, and hopefully we will be able to see exactly what is going on. The ground beneath us is breathing, and something has seemed to explode forth from the ground of the Icewind Dale. Zardarok
Oh boy.
Sunblight. Some weapon comprised completely out of Chardalyn. What will happen? Join us next time on the Crimson Moon Chronicles. See you next week, everybody.
Good night, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Bye!